Now, what we're going to look at next is going to be velocity dampening. Now, this one's really useful just because essentially what it is, it's like applying drag to your fluids. So by adjusting this value, you can essentially make your fluids slow down. This is actually very sensitive, and because it's continuous, essentially it's going to continue to decay the velocity over time. So I'd be pretty careful with it. Originally we have our, let's disable my smoke, we have our original sim here, which moves all the way through the grid. Now if I were to set this to 1, which is pretty extreme, and I've run the sim, so here we can see it with 100%. As you can see, it literally kills all the velocity in the sim. This can be very useful though, because if we want to do simulations that we want to contain a fair bit, so let's say we have like a lot of billowing smoke and we don't want it to really drift too far away, or we want to essentially kind of get areas to kind of slow down and yeah, just not want to spread out as much, so that way we don't take up as much real estate within our container. There's a lot of reasons why this can be useful. Usually you would want to go higher than 0.01 perhaps, because it's still going to be fairly strong in your fluids, but obviously not as strong as that it will force it to come to a halt, like with a value of 1. So we'll take a look at a result that isn't as extreme, and we'll see what the difference is. So we'll play this, and as we can see, we get a lot more subtlety in it. As obviously it's still doing what it's doing, but it's a lot more contained than it was before. And again, we can kind of progressively go up from there. And finally, with a value of 0.1, we can see that buoyancy, obviously, because it is an additive and continuous force, it still raises up a fair bit, but it doesn't really shoot out too much. It loses a lot of the velocity, and then it's just a matter of fighting against gravity and buoyancy. So this is pretty interesting to look at because it allows us to really kind of constrain the shape, and we can also do this in a way of animating it. So once we get our effect the way that we want, we can then animate this to gradually turn on to kind of then help our effect dumb and down and settle. And so this is just ways that we can kind of contain our effect. So in a nutshell, velocity dampening does what it's called. It dampens the velocity over time, or decays it. So essentially your fluids will slow down and come to a halt over time.